This is a series of short videos on card cheating. It will not teach you how to cheat. Instead, it will show you when you are being cheated, to identify how they are cheating you, and how to stop the card shark at your table. For the first one, we're going to deal with the most common form of cheating that you are going to see and experience. You may think this is rather petty, but unfortunately this is type of stuff that you're going to see all of the time. And even with petty betting, it might only be a little bit here or there, but over a year that adds up to hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. So let's start with pot shorting. So the pot shorting is, you say that you're going to do a bet, and let's say that you're going to bet 10 bucks. So what you might do is or 20 bucks, so you might grab 1, 2, 3, 4 and throw them into the pot. Now you've bet 20 bucks. In actual fact, you haven't bet 20 bucks, you've only bet 15 bucks. Because what I did was I counted 1, 2, 3, so I got 3, 4, I've still only got 3 chips in my hand, if that's separated out. And when I threw them into the pot, I threw them on that red chip. So that way, when they fall over, it looks like I've bet 4. Or I could bet them on, throw them on that red chip, and it just adds to the confusion. So if I'm 2, 3, 4, throw them on the chips, it might, when people are doing this, they'll always be doing this under conversation. They won't be going directly 1, 2, 3, 4, looking at it. They'll often be talking to you about the weather or how your children are, 3, 4, I bet 4, and throw it into casual conversation. Most cheating is going to be done. But you say, yeah, okay, so they didn't bet 5 bucks. But if they managed to avoid betting 5 bucks 20 times over the evening, or avoid betting 25 bucks every now and then, they are up quite significantly. And in a game, in a fair game, any small advantage will help. Another way of cheating the pot is, if say I'm wanting to cash in a chip, pot shorting, another one is to throw that in, grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But again, what most people don't notice is I've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when people are doing this, like in this case, what I did was I threw in a 20 under cover of the motion. I picked up 2 chips. First 2 chips was 1, 2, 3. Now the thing is that simple. You may get caught. The thing about these cheats is they really have balls. They really have cojones. They basic bald-faced cheek. And it's almost impossible. If you say you picked up 6, they go, oh, you're right, sorry about that, throw 1 back in, I was distracted. You try and prove that they did that intentionally. So what you do is every time they do that, you correct their mistake. You correct their mistake. And after a couple of times, hopefully they will stop trying to do it. So one of the best ways is just don't let people make money change out of it. So there's 2 ways so far of pot shorting. There's putting a short bet in. So instead of putting in 25, well, you say you're throwing in 25, or say you're throwing in 20 but you're only throwing in 15, or when you're taking change. So those are 2 really common, very petty ways. And people, even otherwise honest players, will often shortchange a pot. And if you're playing with money, like if you're playing with cash, the person might say, okay, I throw in a couple of bucks. Notice that that's not 2 bucks. That's $1, 20, 40, 60, 40 cents short. Again, you might not think that makes much difference, but over a long period of game, that can be hundreds of dollars to people over a week or a month. So, and actually the other version of this you've got to watch out for is if people are, a lot of friendly games have play with chips. So one person acts as bank and you give them money and they give you chips. But really unscrupulous people will find out what brand of chips you've bought and they will go down and buy a set. And if the greens are $25 chips, they'll come and they'll slip 2 extra chips into the game, or they'll cash in 2 extra chips at the end. So they're $50 up. Whoever is sponsoring the game is $50 down. So there's 3 things you have to watch out for. 1, people shortchanging the pot when throwing money in. You make sure, watch them carefully when they're making bets, make sure they throw in real amounts of money. Shortchanging the pot when taking money out. Now that is incredibly common, even amongst honest players. And the third one is people just buying a chip set and swapping a couple of, I do that. I pay what, $10 for this, I throw get 2 $25 chips out there, I'm $40 up. $50 minus 10. If you are going to play friendly games with chips which you've just bought down at your local store, and sign each individual chip. So put your signature on there in vivid so that it's unique and it's very hard to copy. Again, this is all incredibly petty but incredibly common. And this is the most common way that you will be cheated. Okay, so the next video I'll show is the next most common way of getting cheated, which is copying the pot.